Hollywood is stale, but from our neighbors up north comes something incredibly fresh. From Canada Crave comes Heated Rivalry, something your mother has seen, your brother has seen, your boss has seen, and even Donatella Versace has seen. And they've all loved it. But why is that? Everyone from Variety to the New York Times has been trying to figure that out. Just what about Heated Rivalry leaves you so fascinated, so enamored that you have to spread it? You have to make it more popular. And while a lot of people seem befuddled or confused, I'm not. It's really simple to me. There are three main factors that made this small Canadian production into an international success. And they boil down to one, the main actors, two, the power of word of mouth, and three, hey, the storyline. The storyline. Why else would you watch something if you thought it was boring? Don't worry if you're a bit confused about how these three factors really come together. That's the point of this video. So no longer do you have to sit through another article that asks, how could Heated Rivalry be so popular? And you don't have to listen to your friends ask, why is everyone watching Heated Rivalry? Just send them here. I'll explain it. The main actors, until about 8 weeks ago, were total nobodies, and we knew nothing about them. And in an industry that thrives off of the same faces and the same families, a new face? Yeah, we're gonna latch onto that. Especially since, well, they're pretty good looking and they're half naked a lot of the time. Like, a lot of the time in this show. Wow. Did not realize that. Jeez. Anyway, moving on. Don't even worry about it. Hudson Williams and Connor Storrie are incredible actors with incredible chemistry on screen. And there's now even an infamous quote from Williams himself where he explains just how instant that chemistry spark was. Yeah, he said that. I personally would not have said that, even though we can tell. Yeah, it shows. The first steamy scene, which takes place in a shower no less, so you know that the temperature is definitely rising up in here. You can feel, as the audience, just how much these actors are these characters and how much these characters want what they're getting. It's palpable on screen to you. Regardless of position or setting, Williams and Storrie really do sell the concept of closeted athletes that are absolutely smitten with one another, but they're never going to say that. But it's true, and any moment they have alone, they're going to make the most of it. Beyond the characters, both Williams and Storrie are powerhouses of charisma and untapped potential. This is not even a secret. Like I said, fresh faces are pretty rare, and a fresh face like Hudson's, even rarer. I won't pretend that Heated Rivalry is particularly good at racial diversity. After all the LGBT cast members are men, and they're all pale-skinned, and Hudson Williams is playing a Japanese character despite him being Korean. But he's still the reason why I initially tuned in, because the concept of a man of color in a gay storyline immediately caught my interest. Diversity absolutely breeds a bigger tent of people to watch your stuff. Williams himself has been on CNN, Jimmy Fallon's The Tonight Show, and countless podcasts, charming oh so many with just how quickly he managed to grasp this whole stardom thing. Really, he's like scary good at it. And kudos to his stylist, he's always looking his absolute best. But wait, Connor Storries isn't behind his castmate at all in terms of these things. With his modeling background, he's mainly been making appearances with designers, such as going to the Coco Chanel celebration the other night and hosting award shows such as the Actors Awards. He's so popular that British Vogue reports he was mobbed by other celebrities such as Gracie Abrams in order to get a photo with him. That's star power. That's insane. We haven't seen something like that in actors in a long time. But wait, how did these famous people learn to care about this non-famous person, making both of them now famous? Despite having no family connections, the power of their media gatekeepers was just so strong. A gatekeeper is somebody who controls the flow of information. And a media gatekeeper is doing that with media. They are the final say in whether or not an actress gets hired for a TV show, or an executive who decides, I don't like what you said in that script, rewrite it, or it's not running to production. Basically, they're the guys who say yes or no to things. The show was created by Jacob Tierney. Tierney is an openly gay man, and it was created for Crave, a Canadian audience. However, somebody, somewhere, got it on the desk of Casey Bloys. And if you know anything about Casey Bloys, he's the CEO of HBO. He's also a gay man. It was an immediate yes. He saw Heated Rivalry and said, I want to make that an international success. So instead of it staying directly in Canada, it then became a Canada and America TV show, distributed internationally. This international release was obviously very important because the United States is a giant market for entertainment, but it can't be overstated how important it was that two people who are part of the community the show depicts approved of it. That's how word of mouth throughout the community spread. And when a community decides, I really like something, I want to share it, it often goes beyond the internal community. So no longer was it just gay men talking about it, was it just LGBT people talking about it, was it just a specific grouping or demographic. They were sharing it with their friends outside. Word of mouth. And yes, while people within the LGBT community absolutely played a giant role in its popularity, obviously, having a wider spread of people view your thing is always a good thing. Crave was probably always going to renew Heated Rivalry for a second season. They didn't need international popularity to tell them to do something again. Crave will literally renew almost anything from what I've seen. However, it really cannot be overlooked when talking about popularity just how important that simultaneous multinational release was for Heated Rivalry as a TV show. We've hit our third and final topic, the storyline. And man, what a story it is. At its core, Heated Rivalry is a love story, of course, and it's a love story between two closeted men as they play professional hockey in the top league of this fictional North America. It's not the NHL. It's not the NHL. They're even on opposing rival teams. It's total chaos. It's a story of emotional vulnerability, internalized homophobia, fear, hope, want, human emotions that often aren't depicted with men. And they're often not depicted this kindly. When men do feel in fiction, despite mostly being written by other men, it's to put down any emotion that isn't violent anger. And frankly, the audience is tired of seeing violent anger from men. Everybody wants to see emotional vulnerability. even men who say they don't really want to. Everybody wants to know that they're allowed to feel something. The story has been so impactful that it's even caused professional athletes to anonymously reach out to the cast and give their thanks for how much this story means to them. And really, that's what fiction is all about. It's making something that makes you feel. And if it hits the exact demographic, you've literally done the most beautiful thing in the world. The NHL is the only top division North America league for athletics that has never had an LGBT player. No one's ever even come out after retirement. That's really sad because that league's huge. And I don't believe that there hasn't been one. But easing off of that emotion, Heated Rivalry is also really just hot. It's just hot. I mean, they know it. You have 14 very steamy, very spicy scenes across 6 episodes, and you're telling me that you didn't at least watch with wide eyes the first one? I was shocked, even though I thought I was able to handle it. It's really not a question about why people who are often complaining that TV is so sexless right now. I'm not saying I agree with that, but I often hear that complaint. It's really no surprise that they were drawn in by this world and that for 6 episodes, they just couldn't stop watching. Heated Rivalry, though, has taken so many people by storm. Its popularity is astronomical. Nobody was expecting it to be as big as it was. However, I hope with these 3 main points, you now know why I'm not at all surprised. And it shouldn't be a mystery to you anymore either. I'm really glad that you stuck around for it. I do motorsports and media. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you again soon.